Hey, good news! Uzu is back. And I know some of you are probably about to ask, wait a second, he was gone? And yeah, I was asking that too, so we'll talk about that in a second. But first things first, what you need to know is that Uzu tweeted out at like 4 a.m. I don't know where he lives, so I'm sure it was decent his time. But 4 a.m. my time, he tweeted out that he was back after about 2 months of a break because of real life stuff, and that now that he's back, YBA updates will likely continue at a decent pace. Or at least I'm going to assume it will be at a decent pace. Only time will really tell. Now I'm sure quite a few of you had no idea that this happened, and that's because it was on Uzu's Twitter account instead of on the Discord where he posts updates. So that's where some of my confusion comes in, and so as happy as I am that he's back, I'm not entirely sure what's happening here, and so I think it's good to talk about it because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But before I do that, this video is not going to be very well made because I'm making it the day of I got this information, and so despite the fact that I had stuff that I was going to post today, I'm postponing that because I'm uploading this. So if it seems low effort and rushed, that's because it's low effort and rushed because I wanted to get this information to as many people as possible, because I know there's more than a few people that are sitting out there that have been waiting for an update for 2 months now and are like, what the hell's going on? Where is everything? Where's the lucky arrow code? Yada, yada, yada. So I wanted to get the video out. That's why it's so garbage and low effort. On to the way it was announced. I'm not entirely sure why Uzu opted to use his Twitter to announce this. I myself am a big critic of Twitter and don't use it, so I had no idea until people told me in my DMs. And that means that a lot of you, or I would say even most of you, would have no idea until I told you. So it's kind of just a huge question in my mind why he chose to announce it on Twitter instead of making an announcement on the Discord, or even better yet, making an announcement in the community tab on his YouTube. There's a ton of people subscribed on there, so if you wanted to make an announcement like that, that feels like the place to do it. I don't know if I sound like an ungrateful jackass or what, because I'm happy that we got information, and I was actually going to make a video, which I'm obviously not going to make now, talking about the fact that the developers would have a much easier time managing expectations if we knew what was going on. And I was going to say that if there's real life stuff getting in the way, that if we just knew that, then people would be a lot more forgiving. And so as wonderful news as it is that Uzu's back, and don't get me wrong, it's absolutely wonderful news. It means that we're probably going to get more updates. It does kind of perplex me that this information wasn't revealed like a month ago. If stuff's going on in Uzu's life happens. A lot of my viewers are young kids, and those young kids probably don't understand the concept of life happens because they have next to unlimited free time. So they can't really conceptualize the fact that sometimes shit happens in life that you can't do anything about, and you just have to bear with it. And in Uzu's case, I would imagine that's probably what happened. What it was is none of my business, and it's none of your business. And so if he doesn't want to say anything about it, that's entirely his prerogative. But I feel like the community as a whole would be a whole lot more forgiving if they knew ahead of time when stuff was going on. If we got an announcement on the Discord from Uzu a month ago saying, hey, I've got some real life stuff going on, and so I'm not going to be updating the game for a little while and I'm going on hiatus, I myself would be more than sympathetic with that. Even if he announced that he just didn't want to work on the game, and that's why. That would also be 100% fair. Just having any sort of information about the development and what's going on is always great to have. And having absolutely nothing and just being in the dark for 2 months and stuff just stops, and then we get an announcement 2 months later where it's like, oh yeah, by the way, I was on break for 2 weeks. It's almost like I want to say, well, duh, of course you were on break for the last 2 months. Nothing happened. It is really good that something was said, though, especially considering the fact that if he hadn't said anything and just released an update, then people would be upset. And people are still going to be upset, because a lot of people are still not going to understand that he was not coding for the last 2 months. For the last 2 months, while there was no updates, he wasn't doing anything, which means that this coming update is not going to be 2 months worth of work. I think a lot of people are expecting it to be 2 months worth of work, and it's not gonna be that. And if you expect that, you're going to be disappointed. I promise you. I hope whatever comes out is good, but there's no way if you expect the 2 months worth of work that you're going to get what you want. So overall, I'm happy we got an announcement. I'm not sure why it was on Twitter instead of on Discord or on his YouTube. And while I am happy that we got the announcement, I wish we got it a little bit sooner so we weren't left in the dark for so long. But at the end of the day, if Uzi wants to leave us in the dark, that's up to him, not up to us. We don't have any control over other people, just like how he doesn't have control over his own life sometimes, and sometimes neither will you. And you'll learn that in due time. That's gonna wrap things up though. This video is probably longer than it should be. I'm not even gonna ask for likes or anything because this video is strictly informational for the most part. So with that, have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you next time.